again here at Talladega.
Chris Fontaine got to the front because of the 18 of Kyle Busch pushing him to the front. Now he will be racing Kyle Busch for the lead as they go into turn number 1. The pace car and Randy Kaiser pulling off onto pit road. The field back in the hands of Fontaine and Kyle Busch as they come through the tri-oval. Getting ready for the restart. 6 laps of racing to go. Green flag back in the air. A great restart for Chris Fontaine, maybe too good.
No, that's exactly what we needed, Rick. We needed a great restart because we're going to block Ron Hornaday and he's going to push us ahead of Kyle.
Kyle Busch now battling back on the outside. Here comes Jason White in the 23. He will push them by Chris Fontaine. They move to 1 and 2. Fontaine back to 3.
Wasn't a good enough start.
Unbelievable start for Kyle Busch. Can he stay out front? He's talked so many times about, am I supposed to be in front? Am I supposed to be second? Well, right now he's in front. He'll have 5 to go when they get to the stripe.
Austin Dillon jumped on the line. Now we're 3 wide. Johnny Sauter up on the high side with Eric Almirola pushing.
2 trucks on the high side trying to make the momentum up on this restarted lap. Adam Alexander.
And under caution when they were getting set to take the green, Jason White got on his radio and said, "Tell Kyle I will push him into the lead by the time we get to the back straightaway." That plan worked, but now they've got company in the outside lane. Look at Austin Dillon.
Well, how about Eric Almirola pushing the 13 of Johnny Sauter? Johnny Sauter squeezes right in front of Kyle Busch and holds on to second down the backstretch.
Was there a hole there to get in?
Move of the day right there. He just thought there was a hole and he said, "I'm going for it." Stuck that truck in there and now he's still in a position to win the race.
Eric Almirola in front. He has been one of the strongest trucks ever since they unloaded the haulers on Wednesday. Now, can he hang on? He's got Johnny Sauter behind him, and right behind him, Kyle Busch, hungry for another win at Talladega.
I still don't see him not being able to pull this off for another 4 or 5 laps. This is amazing racing. They're all over each other.
4 to go when they cross the stripe. Almirola in front of Johnny Sauter and Todd Bodine, or Todd Bodine making his way up to the front.
Todd Bodine got hung in behind. Right now, the 33 of Ron Hornaday. Remember how well they worked together early in this race.
Grant Enfinger's trying to give Austin Dillon a big shove up the back straightaway. Austin sideways off turn 2, but they've got it hooked up.
Austin Dillon trying to make that second line move. Todd Bodine trying to give the shove to the 33 of Hornaday. Chris Fontaine wants to get back up front. He runs the bottom of the line. Up the racetrack goes Austin Dillon, almost into the outside wall.
Wide on top. Clear behind that 95 if you want it. One lane.
This time by 3 laps of racing to go. Eric Almirola trying to hang on.
Remember, he pushed Kyle Busch to the win here last year. Kyle Busch was in the truck he's driving. Oh, there they go.
Hornaday goes around. The Ray Karthikeyan almost upside down, and he does go on his foot as Ron Hornaday.
There just wasn't any way.
Hornaday rolls again in turn number 1.
You said it, Michael.
That started too soon, Phil. They were doing that for 25 laps.
See Ron moving around inside of that truck.
Trying to get free from the 33. You see the movement.
I'm sure NASCAR will red flag this race here.
Talk to us, Ron.
Safety crews immediately to him.
Here comes Todd Bodine to check on Ron. Ron's fine.
He's all right.
Feel good. I saw him moving around in there.
You saw Todd Bodine run up to the side of the 33 truck. Competitors and very good friends.
What about this sport? Last week he celebrated in Victory Lane. This week he's on his roof with just a couple of laps to go.
He's out. He's out. It's all good.
Bodine happy to see his friend Ron Hornaday getting out of that truck.
A real good truck there today, guys. Not our fault. We was in the hunt. Pack all this stuff up. It's in the wrong place. It needs to be in Kernersville.
Safety crews attending to Hornaday.
I think maybe Ron had signaled to the safety folks that he needed them to flip the truck over because he was stuck in there. That happened to me one day in Daytona back in '04. I turned over and there was no way I was getting out, and they had to flip the car over so I could make my way out of the car, and I'm sure that's what's going on with Ron. Looks like they're putting straps around it so they can roll it.
You saw the same thing with Ryan Newman a little while back, where He was upside down. They needed to get that vehicle turned back on its wheels so they could get out. You see Todd Bodine coming back over now, checking. There's Grant Enfinger having a great run. We had just talked about it. Now his day is done. A lot of damage to the front of that 2 of Ken Schrader. Again, red flag condition here as we had just 3 laps of racing remaining coming through the tri-oval. And that's where the mess started.
So Mike Skinner's truck also with a lot of damage in that last shot. There's Narain Karthikeyan's truck with a lot of front damage and rear damage. That's Mike Skinner's truck right in front of Narain's truck. Well, we talk about the big one. We talked about at the very top of the show. We've been pretty fortunate. We've been trying to have a big one just about from the drop of the green flag, and unfortunately it came here just in the last 5 laps.
I was going to go hug every one of those guys if they were able to somehow figure out not how to crash, because it's just too hard to do what they're asked to do. You know, those bumpers not lining up, trucks moving around all over the place. Let's see what caused this to start.
Looked like the Todd got pushed by the 95 of Grant Enfinger, and it turned him into the truck on the inside of him. And then you see Ron Hornaday going upside down.
Grant was just doing what he saw there. Ooh, wow, look at that hit late by
Todd.
Grant was just doing what he'd seen everyone else do. A rookie at this first start.
Watch the red truck. He's going to push Todd Bodine, and it's going to turn Todd sideways right there into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike gets into the 33 of Hornaday.
Just too big of a push. Look at the job that Matt Crafton does, sneaking around the outside.
And when these trucks get backwards, obviously we talked earlier about the spoiler being at 65 degrees. When they go backwards, it lifts that back into that truck of Hornaday up, and onto its top it goes.
Plus, he was not only backwards, he's getting pushed by Mike Skinner too, so I'm sure that helped ramp that truck up in the air. But as you see the trucks going out of the screen to the left, all those guys are getting ready to do it all over again, Rick. They got a couple of laps to try to figure out how to win this race. And if you survive this crash, you think you still got a shot to win the race.
And you know what, Rick? They're going to put this completely out of their minds. All the guys that saw this and they're going to see the aftermath, they're going to put it completely out of their minds and race hard for 2 laps just like there's no tomorrow.
We'll be holding our breath once again when we see the green flag come back out. Again, they're righting the 33 of Ron Hornaday, getting it back onto its wheels. You see the NASCAR official talking to Ron Hornaday. He's still in the truck. They opted to turn it back over so that he could climb out, and we're seeing him now climbing out of that 33. That is a great sight.
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the fans.
What a great sport. The first one to get to Ron Hornaday.
Look at him laughing.
Yeah. The first person to get to Ron Hornaday was his competitor, but good friend Todd Bodine. This is the big one. Just after they cross the stripe, multiple trucks involved, and Hornaday on his roof. Almirola still scored as your race leader under red flag conditions. Welcome back to Talladega. The Mountain Dew 250 presented on speed by Dodge under a red flag condition. You see the 30 of Todd Bodine being put on the record. Quite a few trucks involved in this most recent accident. Ken Schrader, Mike Skinner, Todd Bodine, Hornaday, Karthikeyan, and Grant Enfinger. Let's look again at what happened. Again, crossing over the tri-oval and the start-finish line.
The 95 pulls in behind Todd Bodine to give him a push, and it turns Todd sideways into the 5 of Mike Skinner.
How many times have we seen drivers with lots of experience racing these trucks make that mistake? Grant Enfinger with limited experience, racing for the win here late in the going, just a little over aggressive, too excited, pushed Todd too hard at the wrong spot. They're just not quite even straight yet at that point, or just getting straight, but that hit on the back of the 30 truck caused this big mess. Look at Crafton slipping through on the outside. What a great move. Other guys, James Busher, Austin Dillon, right through the middle of that crash.
Incredible action here at Talladega. He was right between the tri-oval and the start-finish line, as you mentioned, not quite straight. Maybe he waits another 100 feet. He may have been straight, but that still may not have kept that truck from turning sideways.
It was a big enough hit. That might have happened anywhere.
one of the hardest things to comprehend is they're doing 190 miles an hour when all of this is happening.
You know what? It's not hard for Ron Hornaday to comprehend that. His truck went flying through the air because of all that speed. I think that's what, as you watch on TV and having done this before, Phil, it's hard to explain to people how difficult this is and how hard it is not to have this happen. That's why I got so nervous with 25 laps to go when they started racing like this. I didn't see any way that they could get to the finish without having a big crash.
Remember Todd Bodine running to the side of that truck, checking on Ron Hornaday, and now he's with Krista.
Yeah, obviously a lot of emotions. Todd, as we saw in that video, you were less concerned, obviously, with what was going on with your truck and your wreck. Wanted to check on your friend Hornaday. Are you guys both okay?
Yeah, Ron's fine. He's in there joking about it. He said that was a good ride. It was real smooth, he said. Then all of a sudden it got rough. Yeah, that's a shame that things like that happen. I think the 95 just gave me the shot from hell. Thought he was going to bump me somewhere, but turned me sideways and caused a big wreck. But I got to get going because my guys, being the great crew they are, going to put it back together and try to pick up a few spots.
All right, go get them.
I love that.
He's in a run for the Owners' Championship. He's got to get every spot he can get.
Championship battle. You got to do what you can do.
Again, under a red flag condition as they're cleaning up the racetrack, and the reason being this right here. Remember, when you get on one of those big jumbo jets, they take off at 170 miles an hour. They're doing 190, and Ron Hornaday gets upside down. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Ron Hornaday just coming out of the care center after going from on the pole to on your roof. Todd Bodine said you were joking in the care center that it was a smooth ride. How is that possible?
Well, you hate to say this, but Kevin didn't say it, but I brought the steering wheel back. If you can't win, you got to bring the steering wheel back. But it's such a good truck. All these guys. First of all, I got to thank the safety workers and all the guys who build my truck at KHI. This is unbelievable. I don't even know who clipped me, but Talladega, I mean, coming in the pits, I brake pretty hard, and Todd got in the back of me, and it probably ruined both of our days, but didn't know which lane to go to. You know, it just, if Todd was up there, we got to the outside, and he couldn't push me anymore because of his front fender or whatever, but cool to come here and led a lot of laps and learned a bunch. Too bad we ruined a good truck. I got to thank Kevin Delaney again, RCR. Easy Go. We're going to get Easy Go a win yet before the end of the year.
We're just glad you're okay. Thanks, Ron.